What he lacks in charisma, he makes up for as a strategist. That's right, today we're sharing 5 facts about Prowl. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite version of Prowl, and which is your favourite version of the Datsun Transformers. Fact 1. Making his first on-screen appearance in the first episode of the G1 Sunbow Transformers cartoon, More Than Meets the Eye, Part 1, Prowl's toy was imported by Hasbro in 1984 from Takara's Diaclone toy line. Japanese toy designer Kojin Ono designed Prowl's original toy as part of the 1982 Diaclone Car Robots assortment. Prowl's original toy was released in 1983 as the number 13 Police Car Fair Lady Z, and when imported into the Transformers toy line, the police car colour scheme remained, but the Japanese livery was given a US-centric update in line with Prowl's North American law enforcement disguise. Prowl is one of several Diaclone Fairlady to Transformers Datsun imports from the 1984 and 1985 G1 toy line, sitting alongside Blue Streak and Silver Streak, who were originally released as the number 7 Fairlady Z, and Smokescreen, who was originally released as the number 11 Fairlady Z Racing under Takara's Diaclone toy line. As with fellow Datsun Transformers, Prowl's alt mode is based on a Datsun 280ZX turbo sports car. Fact 2. If you've watched my Soundwave Facts video, or you're already in the know about Transformers lore, you may know that the Autobot and Decepticon insignias are based around the head sculpts of 2 specific bots. While it's commonly known that the Decepticon insignia is based on Soundwave, it's less well known that the Autobot insignia is based on Prowl's G1 head sculpt. This is probably because it's a little harder to see Prowl's face in the Autobot insignia, but if you look closely, you can see it there. There are reports that industrial designer Wayne Molinaire is responsible for the design of the Autobot and Decepticon insignias, and while the Decepticon insignia was drawn to be much closer to the design of Soundwave's face, much more creativity was taken with the Autobot insignia, which is why it's harder to align it to Prowl's face. For years, many Transformer fans have wondered why Optimus Prime and Megatron's head sculpts weren't the inspiration for the insignias. I can only assume that the leaders of the respective factions weren't chosen when the insignias were being designed, but if you know the answer, please let me know. Fact 3. In the Sunbow cartoon, Optimus Prime's second-in-command position was rarely made clear, with Ironhide, Jazz and Prowl sometimes fulfilling the role. However, in the Marvel Comics, Prowl's role of second-in-command was much clearer. It was so clear that even while Optimus Prime was out of action, rather than stepping up to take command, he maintained his position of second-in-command, serving under Grimlock. Whether Prowl served under Optimus Prime or Grimlock, he was still quite argumentative in the Marvel Comics. He often made suggestions that went against what the then leader wanted to do, sometimes making him a bit unpopular. Fact 4. Like many of the original 1984 Transformers cast, Prowl met his end in the 1986 The Transformers the movie, but the way he offlines almost has an element of poetry, whether intentional or not. Prowl's G1 toy bio states he can fire high corrosive acid pellets. Early in the 1986 movie, Prowl is taken offline by a Megatron-wielding Starscream who fires at Prowl, seemingly melting him from the inside as his eyes glow and orange smoke emerges from his mouth. As I mentioned earlier, I'm sure Prowl's poetic demise wasn't intentional. It was just supposed to be another badass ending to a classic Transformer while Instruments of Destruction plays. But when one of his original abilities is to fire corrosive pellets, it feels like it lines up a little too well that he melted from the inside just to be a coincidence. Fact 5. In the G1 Sunbow cartoon, American actor Michael Bell voiced Prowl and fellow Autobots Brainstorm, First Aid, Sideswipe and Swoop. From the Decepticon ranks, Michael Bell voiced Bombshell, Scrapper and Bone Crusher for one episode of the show, alongside a handful of other characters. Beyond Transformers, Michael Bell provided voice acting on G.I. Joe, Rugrats, The Smurfs, and the Legacy of Kain video games, and appeared in Dallas and Star Trek. This is Prymus84, and you've been watching the 5 Facts of Prymus. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, got anything wrong, or if there's anything you want me to cover next.